In the tender echoes of our childhood, there was my eldest sister, a delicate warrior battling a relentless foe named Sickle. A foe that was invisible to our young eyes, yet its presence was felt in the hush of our household, the quiet concern etched on our parents' faces, and the unexplained absences of our beloved sister. Her battleground was not one of swords and shields, but sterile hospital rooms and the constant beep of monitors. The enemy did not bear a face, but a name we would come to know all too well. This was a war fought in silence, waged in the cold light of the hospital, away from the comfort of our shared childhood room. Her hospital stays, those seemingly endless days filled with worry and longing, stretched into an eternity. 64 days to be precise, each one etched into our memory like a scar. We were a trio, a band of siblings, yet our eldest was missing. Her chair at the dinner table remained empty, her laughter absent from our games. Our youngest sister and I, we were bewildered, too young to grasp the gravity of her absence. We only knew that our sister, our confidant, our partner in mischief was not there. We missed her. We missed her stories, her laughter, her comforting presence. Then slowly, in hushed whispers and stolen glances, we pieced together the puzzle. We overheard conversations, bits and pieces of information. Words like sickle cell and anemia floated around, forming a picture we would rather not see. We may have been young, but we understood enough to know that our sister was fighting a battle against an enemy named Sickle Cell. And so we found ourselves introduced to this unseen foe, this thief that was stealing our sister away from us. We discovered the name of her nemesis through hushed conversations among adults. Sickle cells, they called it, a thief stealing moments from our sister's embrace. Weekends transformed into sacred pilgrimages to her bedside, each goodbye heavier than the last. The calendar's rhythm was punctuated by these visits, our steps echoing in the sterile hospital corridors, hearts heavy with apprehension. The smell of antiseptic and the monotonous beep of the heart monitor became our weekend symphony, a stark contrast to the laughter and play that once filled our Saturdays and Sundays. Our sister, fragile yet resilient, lay there, her spirit battling the unseen enemy within her. Her smile, though strained, was our beacon of hope, a testament to her unwavering strength. Her frail hands entwined with ours spoke volumes of the love that no illness could steal. Each visit became a bittersweet blend of joy and sorrow, of reunions and farewells, of shared laughter and silent tears. The journey home was a silent one, the car's rhythmic hum a stark reminder of her absence. The empty seat beside us was a void filled with longing, with memories of giggles and shared secrets, with dreams of a future where sickness was a forgotten enemy. Our hearts ached for her return, for the restoration of the laughter and love that was our sister. The weekdays stretched on, a blur of school, homework, and the ever-present longing for the weekend. Our hearts yearned for the familiar hospital corridors, for the smell of antiseptic, for the monotonous beep of the heart monitor. For it was there, amidst the sterile white walls, that we found our sister, our beacon of hope, our source of strength. And then, on a day etched in memory, the miracle we had yearned for happened. Our sister, our warrior, returned home. Her laughter filled the rooms once more, her presence a soothing balm to our aching hearts. We clung to each other, cherishing each moment, each breath, each heartbeat. The weekends were no longer a pilgrimage to a hospital bed, but a celebration of love, of resilience, of life. Until one miraculous day, she returned home, and we clung to each other, cherishing every stolen moment of togetherness. In the quiet of night, she confided in us, slipping us a tiny pill, a shield against the shadows of her illness. This was her secret pact, her clandestine act of love, a cloak woven from threads of compassion and resilience. The pill was more than a mere capsule of medication. It was a symbol, a tangible testament to the strength of our bond. In the hushed silence of these nocturnal exchanges, a ritual was born, a ritual that transformed the mundane into the extraordinary, the routine into the revered. It wasn't just about swallowing a pill anymore, it was a solemn ceremony, a shared sacrifice, a vow to bear the burden of her illness together. This ritual, as much part of our morning routine as brushing our teeth, became a sacred ceremony. We whispered our prayers with a newfound fervor, our hearts echoing with the rhythm of her courage. The pill symbolized our unity, a fortress against the foe named Sickle Cell. Each dose swallowed was a pledge of solidarity, a silent promise to fight alongside her. Yet with each shared dose, her own supply dwindled. As the number of pills in the bottle decreased, so did our innocence. We began to comprehend the gravity of her sacrifice, the enormity of her love. Her medication, her lifeline was ebbing away, and with it, each pill we took was a piece of her resilience that she willingly shared. Her sacrifice was a mirror reflecting the extent of her love, a love that refused to buckle under the weight of her ailment. It was a love that chose to share, to give, even when the giving meant less for her. And as the last pill was swallowed, our naivety faded, replaced by a bittersweet understanding. We understood the depth of her love, the magnitude of her sacrifice. We understood that love, in its truest form, was about sharing, even when sharing meant giving up a part of oneself. As her medication dwindled, so did our innocence, replaced by a bittersweet understanding. When questioned about the vanished pills, she chose silence over betrayal, shielding us from the weight of her sacrifice. In the wake of her actions, a storm of consequence brewed. The once steady rhythm of our lives was disrupted. The adults were concerned, the doctors confused. The medication that should have lasted weeks was gone in mere days. Yet through it all, our sister stood tall, a monument of resilience amidst a sea of uncertainty. She was questioned, of course. The missing pills were not a mystery to be taken lightly, but each inquiry was met with a stoic silence, a silence that spoke volumes. A silence that echoed her resolve. She bore the brunt of their confusion, their frustration, their worry, all to protect us. It was a sacrifice she made willingly, a testament to her unwavering strength. Her actions, though misunderstood by many, were born out of love, a profound, selfless love that chose to bear the burden of illness willingly rather than allow it to touch those she cherished. It was a love that taught us the true meaning of sacrifice. A love that whispered of courage in the face of adversity. A love that refused to bow to the relentless foe named Sickle. Her resolve was a beacon in the dark, a lesson etched in our hearts. It taught us the power of silent strength, the beauty of selfless love, the importance of standing firm, even when the world demands otherwise. It showed us that sometimes the bravest act is not the grandest gesture, but the smallest act of kindness. Yet even as the storm of consequence raged around her, she remained unflinching. She became our unwavering guardian, our beacon of hope in the face of difficulty. Her actions were not just a shield against the shadows of her illness, but a guiding light in our lives. Though scolded for her actions, she stood unwavering, a guardian angel in human form. In our hearts, she will always be remembered, not for the pills she withheld, but for the love she gave, a love that defined her as our unwavering guardian. In her final act of kindness, she bequeathed us a legacy of compassion, teaching us to shield each other from harm, even at the cost of her own well-being. This was the essence of our sister, a woman of extraordinary grace who, even in the face of her own adversity, was a beacon of love and empathy. Her life was a testament to the power of resilience, a symphony of strength and tenderness. Yet, it was in her passing that we truly grasped the depth of her sacrifice. She was not just our sister, she was our protector, our guiding star, illuminating the path of kindness and compassion. Her actions were not grand gestures for the world to see. Instead, they were quiet acts of love performed in the shadows of our daily lives. Yet these actions left an indelible mark on our hearts, teaching us the profound language of empathy and selflessness. As we navigated the world without her, we realized that her spirit was still with us, gently guiding our actions, influencing our choices. Her legacy was not one of material possessions, but of a boundless love that transcended the physical realm. She taught us the power of compassion, the strength in vulnerability, and the courage in self-sacrifice. She showed us that love is not just a feeling, but an action, a choice that we make every day. And so, in the quiet moments of reflection, we remember her not for the pills she withheld, but for the love she freely gave. Her actions became our compass, guiding us through the labyrinth of life's challenges, reminding us to extend a hand of kindness, even when our own hearts are heavy. Her legacy continues to resonate in our lives. It whispers in our acts of kindness, echoes in our words of comfort, and shines in our gestures of love. She is not remembered for the pills she withheld, but for the love she freely gave. A medicine more potent than any prescribed remedy, and in our hearts she lives on, a guiding light in the labyrinth of life's challenges.